writers and readers, I'm Christy Stratus, and today is Manuscript Monday. This is something I have not tried before, but I saw J.D. Estrada's Manuscript Monday, and then I saw the original and a couple other people's, and I thought, this is a great idea. It's totally fantastic, so I'm going to link the original video down below where the idea came from, and I'm basically just going to talk about where I am on my various manuscripts. I think that it's a really good way, as other people have already said in their videos, it's a great way to sort of stay on track and just keep people up to date as things go along. So, of course, the first manuscript I'm going to talk about is Lock and Key. That is the most important one. As you already know, it has gone through the editor and it's back to me. With me is where it sits. So that's still in the process of, I need some more scenes put in. There's a couple that are missing still. I have them marked. Then I want to read through it again. I've taken a nice break from it, so I do have that space from the original writing that I can read through the whole thing and see even more so what's missing or inconsistent. There are still some characters I'd like to rewrite their way of speaking to make it a little bit more appropriate to their class level and the way that they develop. So anyway, I have not been working on that recently because there are some more urgent things that I've had to work on that are going to be published sooner. So I have not given that a publication date, and I'm not going to. That is something I need to come back to. I'm really excited about it. I just have certain things that will be published soon, so on to those. The last thing I told you for the Happy Endings Resort series was I was going to be writing this novella called Greed. That was a work in progress name, still the work in progress name, and I was going to be publishing that at the end of February. Well, with the direction that it has turned, I think it's a little bit too dark for the Happy Endings Resort series. And yes, they do accept any genre. You can do any genre you want. But the thing is, I've noticed that the majority of books lean in a lighter, more romantic direction, or just not quite. It went in a direction, Greed went in a direction that is not only dark, but it has some unusual elements to it, and I feel like this is the wrong target audience for that, and I am going to publish it by itself instead. So it's still coming, it's just going to be published on its own. I made a lot of good progress on it though, and I am probably more than halfway done with it, maybe? I think about more than halfway done with it. It's approximate. But anyway, now with the Happy Endings Resort series, I still wanted to participate in that, and there was a big overhaul by the person running that to make sure that everybody sort of got their dates together, was absolutely sure they could do it, and now they're going to be publishing 2 a month going forward, which is really awesome. It's a great series. Definitely check it out. I'll link that down below as well. So mine is now going to be coming out on March 15th. It's a completely different book that is more suited to the audience, and I'm going to be co-authoring it. It's my very first co-authoring experience with A.L. Sage, and I'm really excited. For those of you on Facebook, you might know her as Amber Sage, but her author name is A.L. Sage, and that's what she's going to be publishing under. So this is a really exciting one. We don't have a name for it yet at all, but we did start outlining it, and it's going really well. We know who's going to be writing which parts, and then we're going to go over each other's parts, and we're going to make sure that we even out the tone so that it sounds like there's no break in who wrote what part. And it's going to be really fun. She's going to help me lighten up my style because I tend to write very dark fiction, and I like doing that. It's my favorite type, and if it's not dark, I will make it dark. So Amber is really going to be helping me out with lightening up my style a bit, and I'm probably going to darken her parts, so it's really going to work out to be a great balance. I'm so excited about it. I have 2 other things that I'm working on. You can see why Lock and Key has been postponed a little bit. It is the bigger book, the most important book, and it has to be, I have to be happy with it. I can't publish it if I'm not happy with it. So anyway, another thing I'm going to be doing is there is the Gems of Sisterhood anthology that is put out every so often, every few months, and I've participated in every one so far. So the next one is called Gems of Freedom. This is one that I don't know if I'm going to participate in. I keep saying, like, I hope I can, but I've never written anything that has anything to do really with war or fighting too much. It's just not something that I deal with many times. If there's any violence in a book, it's for a particular event. It's not like a war. So I don't really deal with that stuff too much. Even in Intent, which was the last short story I did for Gems of Sisterhood, it was not the same. It wasn't really war, it was on the brink of war, but that part didn't happen, you know? So this is very different for me. I do have an idea, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it together. So that's a big maybe for me. But the thing that I think is going to happen is I just went to this past weekend a meeting for Sisters in Crime, which is a great mystery group. They're awesome. They're a national group and I really loved it. Christina Rienzi, who you may have met on the Writer's Edge panel we did last week, she's actually president of that group. So I went to that meeting. It was awesome. I really loved it. I'm probably going to join that group. And they do put out an anthology. They're going to be putting out an anthology. It's their 30-year anniversary, which is really exciting. So I'm going to try and write something mystery for that. I don't know if it's going to be historical fiction or what exactly it's going to be, but she was encouraging me, and I think it's a great idea. You know, I've read her books and I really like the way she writes. Mystery in general is just not something that I have written, so it would be really cool to give that a shot. So I have some time before that's going to be due, fortunately, so I'm going to get that together, and that one I really am going to try. That's much more doable for me than something to do with war. So that is my update for Manuscript Monday. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like down below and subscribe, and I will see you, actually I'm going to see you this week, but I'll see you next Monday for more Manuscript Monday.